Good day. Hello. We're back Friday with a video that's, if you've played Spellbreak for a while, this might help you. If you're newer to Spellbreak, this will definitely help you. And if you've played for a very, very, very long time, you know these tips will help. So first, I want to thank Spellbreak for sponsoring this video. So thank you, Proletariat and Spellbreak. We love you. First things we're gonna go over, there's gonna do 5 tips. The first one is gonna be the one that I literally tell everyone right off the bat. Every time someone asks me, it's learn your movement first. Spellbreak has a lot of different movement things. You've got the base movement, then you've got your runes, and then you've got your class abilities. So base movement, you've got a levitate, which you hold your levitate, you go up in the air. It's bound to your mana, which is bound to your spells. Whatever you're fighting, and you need your spells and your mana. This is why learning mana or learning your movement is important. So learn how the dodge works. There's a built-in dodge mechanic which is 1.5 second cooldown. Learn how that works. It's a little dodge that just dodges laterally in any direction that you go. So learn that cooldown, learn the feel for it. There's no like visual indication for when it's ready, but there is a sound that you'll get. Learn all of your movement when it comes to runes. There's 9 different runes. All of them have some kind of movement base, even the utility ones, the 3 utility ones. So just learn what they do, figure out what they do. Look at all of the runes. We've talked about runes in the past. We've talked about which ones are best, so there's videos on that if you want to watch it, but that's what we're going to get into. Then also learn your class ability movement. A lot of classes have movement. Some of them don't really have much movement built in, but you can use your classes to do that. Which kind of brings me to learn how the cooldowns work and when they are different. So cooldowns on mana regeneration are going to be different depending on what you're doing. Whether you're on the ground, whether you lost your mana in the air, whether you've thrown a sorcery, whether you sorcery cancel, which is also a movement tip that you can learn in the first one. But yeah, so number 2 would be learn how the cooldowns work and when they are different. So each cooldown has differences. Runes are different cooldowns based on the rarity. So the higher rarity you go. Your class abilities that are bound to sorceries also have different cooldowns based on the different rarities of gauntlets you have. Dodge is 1.5 seconds. Learn all of the different mana regen things, because otherwise you're gonna kind of get stuck in pickles a lot, being just on the ground, getting wind spammed or lightning or blown up or whatever that may be. Number 3, which is mana management tricks. Mana management is mana, like I said, is what's bound to your spell casting, how much ammo you've got, but it's also bound to like your levitate jetpack thing. So if you're in the air and you lose mana, you have to wait 1.5 seconds before it even starts regenerating, and then it also has to regenerate on top of that. If you lose it on the ground, it's a little bit different. So if you think you're gonna lose your mana, land first. Okay, that's one thing. Second of all, you can sorcery cancel and start it right off the bat. So that's number 3. Number 4, you've got aim where players are. This is something that a lot of players in a lot of games like FPS traditionally don't have to worry about. You kind of just aim at the character and it does damage to them. That's not how Spellbreak is. Spellbreak is a projectile shooter game, so everything is a projectile. Nothing's hit scan, nothing's fast enough to really aim at the character within a distance, right? Lightning is a little bit different, where if you're within a certain distance, you can probably just aim at the character and it does the damage. But like fire is a projectile, ice is a projectile, all of them are projectiles. So aim where the character is going and aim there. This is gonna take a little bit of time because you kind of have to learn how players in Spellbreak move. You have to learn how like rune distances work, the dodge distance works, levitate, how they fall, like the gravity fall, how the map comes into play. It takes a little bit of time to learn how to do the damage here, which is why the first tip is learn movement. So you learn your movement, you can kind of figure out how players play, and then you can kind of shoot where they're going to be and not necessarily where they are. Number 5, and I want to give a little shout out to Marcus for this one, is use your class abilities as much as possible. You want to be vanishing misting as much as possible. You want to be using your firewall as much as possible when you're on pyro and you want to do like the flight stuff. You want to use your tornado as much as possible. Also on frost, use your alacrity all the time. Also tundra is huge, so use tundra as much as possible. As soon as that cooldown comes up, if you're in a fight and you have an opportunity to use it. On the flip side, don't overuse things just to use them. Figure out the best time to use them and use them that way, but use them as frequently as possible in the right way. The best way to do that is to use them in the wrong way. So just use them as much as possible first, learn how not to use them, learn how to use them. Spellbreak is a super deep game at first. Once you get to know a bunch of the stuff, it's not like super deep. It's more steep at first, super steep at first, and it's not super deep. Once you get the things done, you pretty much learn it. There's only 6 classes. Go into practice, test everything out. Guys, those are my 5 tips to improve quickly with Spellbreak. If you have any more, like I said at the beginning, throw them down below or come find me in stream. 10 to 3 Eastern, 10 in the morning, 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/itsop. Guys, I love you. Love yourself. Take care of each other. And we're also not doing an outro today. So bye. Peace.